So we're about to do wrist, and wrist can be done seated position with the arm resting on the plinth. And for our gravity minimized position, okay, the patient can be fully supported, and the thumb should be up toward the ceiling, so forearm neutral. And with all of these, now when you do flexion and extension, if you start in flexion, okay, the patient should be able to go into full extension, full range of motion. Okay, this is a gravity minimized position, so we're going to be palpating. I'm going to try to stand out of the way. If I go this way, okay. So if I have Shannon do, let's say, so she's here, she's going to start in full extension and go to flexion. I'm going to be palpating flexors. So as she does that, she's fully supported. I'm going to have her go ahead and do the motion as I palpate flexors, and that's a 2. And for me to add resistance, I'm going to be in the palm of her hand, add resistance, go ahead and pull in, for a 2. I'm sorry, I should have gotten off that muscle belly and stabilized up here. Doesn't really need much stabilization unless she moves her arm, so I'm just on her humerus, giving her resistance throughout the range. Do that one more time. Good. Okay. So to do extensors, we're just going to position her in full flexion. Okay. And then I'm going to be palpating the extensors as I show her what to do is come into extension. So she does that, and I move out of the way, and I palpate extensors. Okay. Good. And then to give her resistance, now I'm going to be on the dorsum of her hand, and she's going to just, I'm trying to not be in the camera's way, but don't do something with your wrist, protect your wrist, do what you need to do, but she should be able to come out and have some minimal resistance throughout the range. Okay, and again, I can be up here by the humerus stabilizing. Okay, so that was wrist flexion and extension in gravity minimized. If I want to do now fighting gravity, so she can do full range of motion, wrist extension. She starts down here, she's fighting gravity all the way up. Remember, use your full range of motion if you can. So go ahead and do that motion for me. Now that would be a 3. Okay, so since we're in against gravity position, the next thing I want to do is stabilize. So I'm stabilizing up here by the humerus, and I'm having her meet me at neutral, meet me halfway, and do a brake test. Min, mod, max, and she's a 5. Good. Okay. So now, if I were to do flexors, now she's in the awkward position. So one thing we can do is bring her down. Put this pillow on your lap. Stay there. Put the pillow here. I'm going to do it here so that you're not in an awkward position. So you don't want your patient to be hiking up their shoulder in awkward position. This is an alternative way. I think everybody can still see. Yeah. Okay. So now she can start in full extension and come all the way up for flexion. She could relax her fingers so that she can have more range of motion. Come on out, do that for me. Good. Okay, so now I want to do that brake test because now she's a 3. So I'm going to have to stabilize her. I'm going to be away from the muscle belly always. I'm going to be up here by her humerus. And I'm going to ask her to come meet my hand. Don't want to push you down. Hit my max. And she's a 5 out of 5. So there's your rest. Okay, great. So while we're here, we're just going to finish up with supinator and pronator. Your supinator, she can be flexed here. Your supinator is going to go from full pronation to supination. So full pronation again to supination. Okay. Oh, stop. I'm sorry. We're against gravity. So my bad. All right, so we're going to go, from full pronation to fighting gravity is neutral. When we go further, you're acting on the pronators are acting to not let that muscle block out with gravity. So to use supinator against gravity, you're going to go full pronation to forearm neutral. Okay, I think you can see. So again, okay. Full pronation to forearm neutral, so just stop right there. Yep. So that is the against gravity for supinator. Okay. To do a brake test on this muscle, it's so tiny. Over here on the lateral side of the elbow, near the common extensor tendon, we're going to use the radius as our blocking point, as our resistance, okay? So I'm going to use my hand, my palm of my hand, right here, just blocking the radius from rotating on the ulna. So I'm going to stop her. I'm going to stabilize her here and stop her with my hand. So she comes up, and let me push you down, and we're doing a break test for the supinator. Okay, so I'm on the distal radius, okay, lateral surface. Now, to do pronator, obviously we're going from full supination to neutral forearm. So there's your pronation against gravity. So I'm going to have her do that for me, shoulder, and then I'm going to, now, same thing, I'm going to block that radius from rotating, pronating on the ulna. So I'm going to have to block it. I'm going to stabilize up here, and as she comes up, I'm going to block it with my max resistance for her break test. Okay, good. Now, the last, for these muscles in gravity minimized, I'm actually going to bring her up here. It's easier for you guys to see. Okay, so when she goes from fully supinated to fully pronated, okay, that's your pronator. We're working on, we know it's quadratus, but we're calculating pronator teres for this, okay? So if I'm fully supporting her here, remember she's really weak, this is going to be gravity minimized, and I'm going to palpate, and I'm just supporting her here. I'm not helping her with the motion, so go ahead and do that motion. So palm should be coming towards me, and I know she's pronating as I felt the pronator teres. So for the minimal resistance throughout the range, I'm preventing rotation. So I'm going to push her back with my thumb, okay, and I'm going to surround her actually with my hand, but I'm pushing most of her with my thumb, okay, as she tries to pronate. And now I'm pulling here. So I'm doing two actions. I'm pulling and I'm trying to twist her back in the opposite direction into supination as she comes around. Okay? So that is your pronation, your pronator, teres, and quadratus. So let me see. So now we just did pronator, so now we have to do supinator. So now she has to start in full pronation and she has to come into full supination. Okay, so now I have to concentrate on that supinator. So I'm going to support her. I'm going to palpate. I don't know if you can see my palpation hand. It's all the way over here on that supinator. And I'm asking her to do the motion, a shoulder. Now I'm just going to support her, make sure she doesn't fall. She does it herself for 2. Now I'm going to stop her from doing the motion. So again, I'm going to surround her entire forearm with my hand. I'm going to pull back in the opposite direction as she tries to supinate fully. Good. Okay, and that's it. Thank you, Shannon. Okay.